Hey everybody, how's it? My name is Jeeves. I'm an old composer here at the Decomposer Lounge. This is my world music reaction reviews. Yes, I do have a heavy metal and rock and roll reaction channel with a couple 100,000 subscribers. So blessed. And this channel is for the kind of music that you see here, more global, more world, folk music and everything. And I was just recently suggested this artist. His name is Ayanga. Please remember, not my first language, so if I'm mispronouncing it, thank you very much for being patient. And apparently he is a Chinese musical theater artist and singer and songwriter, but he has a Mongol background, Mongolian, I believe. That's what was left in the suggestion comment. So I don't know the name of the song. I cannot read this, and I'm afraid to use Google Translate because it's like those really bad, tattoos. People have gotten like Chinese tattoos, and it's like, and it really just means cat food. So I don't want to make that mistake. I want to thank you guys for your support. Any advertisement that shows up here is copyright claims for the songwriters, the singer, and the publisher, so I don't make any money. If you want to support me, down below is the links for the coffee, what headsets I'm wearing. If you buy me a cup of coffee, it also supports what I do with children in hospitals. That's what these puppets are about. Okay, here we go. Don't know the name of the song, but this is by the artist Ayanga. All right.
时间到此时，太早或太迟，那时你匆忙赶路样子。嘿，故事到此时，疯狂或克制，那时你必须经历的事。你说过的我可以，你说过的那句对不起，那句没关系。这大城里小小的你，路过的每次分离，这小世界大大的你，经过的每次风雨，每个痛苦快乐的大小的消息，都变成你会留下的记忆。这大城里不安的你，有过的每次呼吸，这小世界坚定的你，爱过的每次哭泣，每个闪耀珍贵的不同的感激，都变成你出发的意义。
It's almost, I have a hard time stopping because I'm so overwhelmed with the beauty of the composition as well as the vocals and the melody. If you've never heard me do what I do, I don't do theory breakdowns. I do what I call pure listener breakdowns. And though I am a composer, I just I celebrate what I feel and hear. And in this case, this is probably one of the most beautiful ballads I've heard on this channel yet. I'm not saying it's better than anybody else's. I know how there's a lot of fans out there that are kind of, very, very loyal to their artists. But one of the things I want to start with was the beautiful, very light piano that was opening there. I was going, oh, this is nice. And then they just kind of gave it a little bit of angel dusting of a little synth, kind of like a hollow voicey kind of synth pad. Had a little mallet sound to it slightly. But then as soon as those strings came in, did you see me do this? That's because here in Hawaii, we call it chicken skin. Most people call it goosebumps or something, It was huge. As a matter of fact, I even have a little bit of a, not a teardrop, but it was so emotionally uplifting, those strings and the dynamics and how well it was arranged and composed. And what I love is that it's not shy in the mix. So as we're listening to it, those strings are just as equal in power as our, lead performer here, Ayanga. Now let's talk about his voice. I'm not a voice teacher, but it's absolutely stunning. And it looks like there's a lot of music here, but it's hard to read, you know. Yeah, I don't need to read. Music is universally moving. I don't even know the title of what he's saying. And it's so beautiful. Another thing that I love about his voice, and I think it has to do with the dialect of the language, there are pronunciations that English we don't hear. And so the dialects and the enunciation of the words that he's singing, of which I don't understand, have these beautiful, these very unique sounds. I guess that's what it is, the sounds of the dialect and the language, that it actually plays into a very unique part of the performance. Some of the words that he says and he sings, it's like, wow, that like sure kind of a thing there. It's just absolutely beautiful. I love this. I'm blown away. I'm not going to stop for the rest of this, so I'm going to play it and then I'll save some more remarks because I just really want to just get into it and sync. And I'm going to go back just a little bit. Oh, and the hook. The hook was huge. The hook for most people, that's what most people call it the chorus. It's just beautiful. It's just glorious. Look at me. I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm not even halfway through my coffee. I'll shut up. We'll go back. And I'm going to finish this whole song without saying another thing. Here we go.
都变成你出发的意义。人生到此时，长久或暂时，那是最值得开心的事。你说过的我愿意，你说过的那句不容易，那句在一起。这大城里小小的你，路过的每次分离，这小世界大大的你，经过的每次风雨，每个痛苦快乐的大小的小心，都变成你会留下的记忆。这大城里不安的你，有过的每次呼吸，这小世界坚定的你，爱过的每次哭泣，每个闪耀珍贵的不同的短季，都变成你出发的意义，都变成你出发的意义。
That was just absolutely beautiful. This actually changed the energy of my day. I feel so elated, lifted, even though I don't know what the lyrics are, I don't know where this is coming from. The power of everything is just absolutely amazing. His voice is incredible, but the arrangements, because I am a composer, I listen with a different kind of set of ears. The arrangements are just so rich. And here's the other thing too. In this kind of production, this is, they gave us moments where, and then brought us back down. And then there was that like 40-second musical break in the middle where if you listen to the bass is going off. I don't know, those are the notes. But I was like, yeah, look at that. And then bring it back up, and then they drop us out. Then do a piano. And they were bringing us through these little short lifts and releases in the journeys. And there's such power in silence too. So what I mean by that is you have these big orchestrations, these beautiful things, and la la la, whatever it is, such power in that. It's so emotional. I also heard distorted guitar, which was great. That kind of harkens me to the day of that kind of production, let's just say in the United States or in the Western music pop era, where having such an incredible arrangement and composition like this was actually something back in the day that unfortunately I don't think they do in the mainland and Western music now of this nature. And so I'm so excited to be able to re-experience the fact that whoever produced and arranged and composed this also uses all the elements. I heard acoustic guitar, and even though it was pulled back in the mix, there were a couple of areas where the mix kind of pulled back and then you can hear kind of a strum. And there were a couple of really super cool acoustic guitar riff, kind of passage riff turnarounds that I could hear. And then of course in the background I can hear when they were swelling up just these single notes in the electric, the distorted guitar sound that was in the back there. And it's such a compliment, it's such a unique compliment in production when you take those sounds and you can still use the power of it without being overpowering, and it still lifts. And then finally, I just have to go back to the strings and the mixing. The strings, what a powerful arrangement, great arrangement, used a lot of different dynamics and stuff like this, but the fact that it was so in your face in this mix, to me, was my soft spot. Because that's what me and I'm third generation composer, my father, my uncle, my grandma, we're all string arrangers, orchestrators, can't orchestrate anymore, nobody has that kind of money, or live strings per se. But like my dad's legacy, Michael Jackson, Toby Keith, Sinead O'Connor, Five for Fighting, and all the string arrangements that he did in the pop world from the 70s until he passed away in 2010 or 12. So you could tell that in of itself is the reason why I have such a soft spot for the string arrangements, and where they're placed in the mix is just absolutely beautiful. So I highly doubt anybody's still here. If you are, like from my other channel, I always say, if you're still here, type in, I'm still here. Thank you very much for your suggestions. I really appreciate it. And I'll be back soon with some more. And like I said, if you'd like to support me and this channel, if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, that would be great. The link is down below. Or you could just like and sub and share it and, that kind of stuff too. That's just as powerful. And maybe a comment. All right, guys, take care. Aloha.